So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to
Awesome.
Tuesday Night Live.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Come on, Nathan, cheer up.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
And happy new lockdown.
Hey.
Yes. So what we're
Oh
going
my days! It's good that your humour has improved, Mr. Jennings.
So what are we going to do this time? What are we going to do this lockdown that we didn't last? I am going to lose the weight this time.
Me too. All the weight that I put on in the first one.
Yeah. Well, I'll give it a go. I mean, I might try. I mean, there's.
You are very good at losing things, though, Jonathan.
Absolutely, I'm a world champion.
That is true.
Mostly keys. My phone, my wallet. I had a notebook today and I put it down in the kitchen, and I have a distinct memory of putting it down in the kitchen. It's not there now, and nobody's moved it.
Oh gosh!
Oh.
So either my brain is playing tricks on me, or what I actually bought was a tin of hot dogs, and I put those down because they were suddenly in the kitchen, and I don't remember moving them. So, and I've had a look in the cupboard. I've had a look in the cupboard where the hot dogs were, and the notebook isn't in there. So. Huh?
What's that story of the little people that live under the floorboards?
Oh,
the
The
borrowers.
borrowers.
That was it.
Yeah, I'm sure you haven't got any of those there.
I'm not sure at all. I think it's entirely possible. Good. So, what else? What are you going to do differently this time, Nathan? If anything,
Build a train set. That's what I'm going to do. And
yes.
I have put 3 hours aside in my diary every day to school my children.
So
Okay.
good. I watched Word of the Day today when you said that, and I was like cheering you on.
Yeah, it's
Now,
hell.
What
That's
could
what I'm
possibly
gonna
go
do.
wrong? It's going to take a toll.
BBC are putting on lessons from 9 o'clock in the morning for 3 hours.
I
don't know
saw
whether
that.
it's different for primary school children to help out with homeschooling.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That's
So that
good.
might help.
I did
you
see
out.
that.
I think it may be secondary
Would-
as well, but I'm not sure.
I think the key question is, Jonathan, would you allow your children to watch the BBC teach them?
Oh, I think so. I think
That's
so.
okay,
Provided I was there to do, commentary and just make sure that
Fact checking and
fact checking and.
so the challenge from today's school's work, and I should let you know, you can guess whether it was Arabella's or Harry's, right?
Right.
If play is the action,
Yes.
the verb is
Act.
playing. Apparently, I don't think that's right, is it?
Say again.
What
if
is the
play-
difference? What is play
Yes.
in relationship to playing, and what is playing in relationship to play?
Play's a verb, isn't it?
And then
Well,
playing,
yeah,
is
play
that
is-
the adjective?
Sorry.
No.
Right. How many former teachers have we got on here?
Well, I did a teaching English
Christine,
as a
over to
foreign
you.
language, so I feel like I should be able to
No,
do this.
I'm out of teaching now.
And then to give it away, you then have to place the word into an interesting sentence.
Okay.
So that was me doing English with Arabella.
What was the sentence? Come on.
Now we had a
Must have
list
been.
of 12.
Oh, good heavens.
One
Oh, did-
was eat and eating. I love eating sweets.
Yes.
That was one of them. It's
Are
like
they being
nightmare.
asked in different tenses? I have
Well, no, it was something to do. No, it was the eat and eating, play and playing. Like stress and stressing should have been in there because I couldn't understand it. So yeah, I went and helped Harry instead,
What was he doing?
and that wasn't much helpful. He had to draw a crumpled up piece of paper. So I helped him because he started with an A4 sheet. So I reduced it down to a stamp size. And actually, I think, to be honest, it wasn't too sad.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's put that up.
Very
Oh, wow.
good.
That's
There we
really
are.
good. It's better than I could do.
So that was that, really.
That's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
good.
was. Yeah. That was my day. With lots of other stuff just thrown in
That's
just for the
quite a
fun.
good exercise, actually, crumpled up paper, because it's what they're looking at is they're reflecting the light and where the light's coming in and where the shadows are.
And you can use a torch or a very bright light like this to create hard shadows and hard light.
God, this is much more technical when I was a boy. Good Lord.
No,
I was never any good at art. Okay, shall we have a look at the pictures then?
Yeah.
First up for the pictures is this from Christine.
Yeah, Nigel and I have been trying to up our exercise when it's not raining. I don't do rain. Nigel does. He doesn't mind going out. But this is up the Link Road, but it's not on the Link Road. It's kind of behind the Saver Centre. I can't really describe where it is. If you've got one of the lanes, it leads into public footpaths. And this is a public footpath that runs parallel, really, with the Link Road. But in between the Link Road and this public footpath is this sort of woods. And I took some photographs up there, and I thought this was really interesting, but I wasn't sure what it was. And Nigel wondered if it was ivy, roots of ivy growing up the tree, or something. So it was obviously a parasite, really, against the tree. So I don't know whether any of the viewers might know what that is. But it was I thought it was really interesting.
I think it's varicose veins. That's what it is. And can I just apologise for spinning a thing on a pencil, which apparently is very loud, but not as loud as Jonathan thumping the keyboard.
It is deafening. It is deafening at this.
Oh, it wasn't deafening to me, but
yeah.
Well, the keyboard was.
No, it was. It was. I'm sorry. It was just intrusive. God.
So I think it is ivy.
It looks like
I think
ivy.
that is roots of ivy or a vine.
Yeah.
This is when we hope that that Stuart Bourne is watching and he might be able to say something.
He'll tell us. But
it's very thick for ivy, isn't it? Or maybe it isn't.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But it may well be.
Was the tree dead? Was the tree dead, or was it still going?
No, it's still going.
Oh, it is ivy. You can see it in the tree on the background. Yeah.
It's interesting.
But I've never seen it like that before, if it is ivy. You know, really thick like that. I thought it was quite interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Then you sent us another one as well, which is this one.
2 for the price of 1.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So where was this?
I thought this was lovely. This was in the toilets at the Saver Centre.
Listen, right, okay,
in there.
okay.
I just thought I was drying my hands, and there's this poster there, and it says, "Never be afraid when it comes to love. It just takes the right kind of person to say the right kind of words that open your eyes to a world in which you've always belonged." And I just thought that was really nice. Apparently, it's from the Poetry Project, but it was a nice place to have it in the toilets, I think. It's one
nice
place
kind of love.
It's one place where you have to stop, isn't it, when you wash your hands? If you like.
It's the thought that on your annual assessment, the phrase "took a camera into the toilets" might be there, and I think it's just
No, it was my phone. I had my phone in the pocket because it was on our walk, the same walk. Actually.
Oh, right.
And we walked up then to the Saver Centre. I nipped into the loo before we walked back. We walked about 9k that day, so it was quite a long walk.
Yeah,
And did love open your eyes?
Yeah, because my phone records the number of steps. You know, it's got an app on it.
Good. Next is Jodie's.
Very nice.
Which is this one.
So, Christmas Day, obviously I didn't get to see my mum or my family, and I got this text on Christmas morning, and I wondered if anybody wanted to guess what my mum bought me.
Happy roast day. So it's got to be something to do with food. And if you can redeem it, you've got to go into something like a Wetherspoons.
Not quite. Any other guesses?
But it's something like that. See, you can see.
Oh, Toby Carvery.
How did you get that?
Because there's 2 Ys.
Happy
You can
roast
see.
day.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
but-
And happy roast.
But if you look where you've blanked it out, you can see there's a tip of a Y about 4 letters in, and then a tip of a Y. Oh, I see.
Well, I thought it was a wonderful gift for someone who couldn't, get to the post office in time or, send something physically because we couldn't see each other. That was a good text to get on Christmas morning. That I got 25 quid at Toby Carvery because I'm a big fan of roast dinners. Like, I miss them so much. Billy does not like roast dinners. It's just heartbreaking.
No.
I know. Okay.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
tragic. That's tragic.
It really is, right?
So,
Well,
here's the practical
changed
question.
a lot in the last few years.
Here's the practical question: what's the expiry date? Because you're not going to be able to spend it for a little
question.
while. Yeah.
I'll have to check, but they do takeaway, but there isn't one like too near here. I think the nearest one's Maidstone, but you can do takeaway now. So
what's your favourite?
There might be options. Probably roast beef, actually. I don't have that much beef, but when I have a roast dinner, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's making me miss it now. You were just talking about it. So if anybody's cooking a roast this Sunday and wants to drop one round, because otherwise I don't get one because it's just me and Billy. But
Yorkshire puddings, lovely.
Oh, and thick gravy.
Yeah,
gravy. I agree. Thick gravy.
Braised onions, lovely.
And
Braised
mint.
carrots.
And mint and cranberry sauce, no matter what the meat is. Oh, yes.
I would say apple and cranberry sauce, no matter what the meat is.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. I will go with that.
Anyway, there you go. That's mine.
Okay, thank you. And now Nathan's.
My contribution.
At least I presume this is yours, is it?
No, there is. It is, you see.
Okay.
As soon as the guidance was published last night from dear old Boris, I thought I must read it. And on page 21 of 22, there's a list of things which remain open. And you'll see that there is a space. There's a blank bullet point between outdoor playgrounds and then outdoor parts of botanical gardens and heritage sites for exercise. And the thing that exercises me is what was on the list of things that can stay open and was then taken off. And there's a theme. So it's something between playing and gardens. And that is the question of the day.
Well, it's definitely outdoors because you've got outdoors at one word and then a gap and then outdoors. And there was something today, wasn't there? There was something outdoors that had been banned. I can't remember. And I said
it's not out.
Oh, I know. It's not tennis courts. Is it games, sports areas or something?
No, but these are allowed to stay open, aren't they? These are the ones that
are.
These
are the things
so that would have been taken off. Yeah, outdoor sports arenas, like basketball.
Outdoor
courts,
swimming.
Yeah,
someone says.
Outdoor swimming.
Which I thought was ridiculous. Really, if you're outdoors, you can space out, can't you?
I did wonder whether it's something. I mean, in my head, I went recreation and gardens. What's the thing that comes between them?
Garden
I can work it out.
Yeah.
Garden centres.
Oh, but they're open, aren't
they? I don't actually know.
I think they're open.
But still. Who knows?
Claire Banner suggested miniature railways.
That would be tragic if they'd been taken off the list like that. That would be outrageous.
It's not funny.
Well, if it's alphabetical, what was the one before, Jonathan? Can you put it back up?
The what?
Outdoor play. So that's P. So isn't it? If it's alphabetical.
No, because parts is alphabetically before play. But I think you can see how the mind is working. That's a civil servant's mind working down that list, isn't it? So it's we must cover these and those and them and that. It should be crematoria, shouldn't it? Crematoria, not crematoriums.
It could well be.
Yeah. Okay.
But still, there we are.
Crematoriums are open, hopefully.
Okay, and then there's mine.
Perplexing indeed.
This is mine, which is interesting. If I can find the right... There it is. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. The tension builds.
There you go.
Is that you on the left?
That is me on the left with hair and a pen.
With hair? Oh,
With hair.
my goodness.
Your radio job. That you
No,
had,
this
whatever it
was at Church House in Westminster, where we had a radio studio, and this is the brochure cover for a training course that we used to run on being interviewed in the media. And it worked actually, these are colleagues in the picture. That's Sarah and Matthew, who Matthew worked in publishing and Sarah was in the comms department. And they said, we need a photo, come and pose. So we went and posed. But we ran this course that had sort of 3 levels. The first level was how to be interviewed on your local radio station, and people used to come in and learn how to do that. And it was all very gentle, and you know, tell me about the autumn bazaar and encouraging people how to speak. The next level up was clergy, who used to come in always thinking they knew exactly how to do it. And then you gently lead them on and just open a yawning chasm and let them fall into it. And then we used to take...
Very kind of you.
Yeah. Well, and then you used to show them what happened. You'd play the interview back and say, the thing you forgot to listen for was this. And you had the things you wanted to say, but then you got angry with the questions, so you lost your rag. And it was great fun. And then we'd have we used to get trainers in to do people who were going to go on the Today programme and just say, it can be a bit of a bear pit. It can be difficult. This is the kind of questioning you're likely to face. And I used to do some of those, and they were enormous fun. But it was a very, very good setup. And the desk was, the whole thing was built by someone who used to work in local radio and in national radio, and built us this. We got a grant from, I think, the Jerusalem Trust, and they built us this fabulous on-air studio. And so that was me with hair. And
yes. a very Protestant dog collar.
No, not at all. No, that's what's called the tonsure collar.
Oh, that's the tonsure, which is very Catholic.
Which is very Catholic. Yes, I still have one of those, but the problem with those is they crack very easily. So I've got 2 shirts.
Tonsure or not to tonsure?
Well, I've got 2 shirts, but no collars for them at the moment because they're fixed in place with press studs. No, I've got 2 of that kind. But the press studs, they space them out differently now, so I can't get a collar to fit them. So I've had to go low church father in order to continue wearing a dog collar, but there you go. Yeah, so that was me.
Very good.
All those years ago. And I was losing the hair then, as you can see. So, yeah.
When was that, Jonathan?
That would be between... I went there in 95 when you were probably 4. No, you weren't. You were 3. You were 1? No!
Wait, what did you say, 95?
95.
Yeah, I was 1.
You were 1.
Sorry about that.
And I left there in 2001 when you were probably 2.5 or something. Oh, thank you very much.
That's
Anyway,
maths.
yeah. So that was that. That turned up this week. So, yeah. Good. We have quite a short news quiz this week. I thought I would start with one that is really quite a sweet one. And I've been trying to get a picture, and I can only find the headline. I can't trace the story back. But this is the headline. Any idea what that might be?
It's frozen for me.
It's what?
So I can't see it. It's frozen, so I can't see it.
Not wearing makeup.
No, it's not that. What it says...
Oh, okay.
You've got it, yeah.
Yeah,
News anchor reveals she has been something to boost her daughter's confidence.
Oh, I remember reading something about this, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it sounds familiar to me as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
She's been wearing her glasses on air. I thought that's so sweet.
Oh, that is actually. I resonate with that because I quite often choose not to wear my glasses for certain things.
Good.
But I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was
Aw.
really, really sweet. Next one is not sweet at all. The next one is a real scary story. If you are ready for this. Killer whales filmed chasing seals to shore in.
I can't.
Screwed.
Not quite. And just to say, here's a picture. And if you look at that's the harbour wall in this place. And
Is that the Falklands?
It's not the Falklands. It is a bit of a scary. If you're thinking about taking a summer holiday this year,
Cornwall.
and no, it's actually the other end. It's in Scotland.
Scotland.
Now, this is in Lerwick. It's in Lerwick Harbour, which is obviously quite a reasonable fishing spot, and it's the rocks off the harbour. And that, my friend, is a killer whale about 8 feet offshore. I am never going paddling in Scotland again. Never. That's just
crazy.
And what happened was that these, well, we have for the moment, I think it's just as well. These seals came in, the whales came in chasing a seal, and the seal was swimming all around the harbour and finally clambered up on the rocks. And the picture that was taken just before this one has the seal clambered up onto the rocks and looking back, and you see these things and you think, well, how big is a killer whale? And if I'd nipped in to do some scuba diving, not that I would do that in January, but these are killer whales.
Would you do that?
Oh yeah.
Would you do that at other points in the year?
I'd go snorkeling anytime. But you just think Scotland's not that far away, and they're I think the clue with the killer whale is the clue's in the name. These are not safe creatures. So,
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a good long look. Yes.
Stuart Bourne has just joined us online. Hello,
I just
Stuart.
saw that.
We did have a question for you, Stuart.
Let's find the tree.
So, Stuart, what is on this tree? And don't say bark.
We hope you're still here.
What are the varicose veins around that tree? You can answer the debate. And in the meantime, we'll carry on with the news quiz.
Okay, right. Okay, so that was that one.
Yeah, he won't need it for more than a second. He'll give us it in Latin, knowing Stuart.
Okay, this is A, shocking, B, ingenious. Sorry, I've just got to take the tree out of the way. Hang on, wait a minute. There we go. This is shocking and ingenious all at the same time. So. This is that's all you get. That's the only clue you get.
Oh, I know what this is.
Oh, well, hang on, Christine. Let the others have a go first. Yeah, go on. Any guesses?
You need to put it back up because it was delayed in coming up.
It's disturbing. This is. I just think, why would you do that? And then you think it is genius, but. No, you can't do this. You can't do this.
Oh, does she put... I was trying to say something. Does she store it back in the loft with all the decorations still on it?
She does. Do you know how she manages that?
Yes. Shall I say?
Yeah, go on.
Are they glued on?
She wraps it all in cling film with the decorations on.
I think it's genius. But it's also really it's disturbing at the same time because, half of the fun is that you decorate the tree. You don't just unwrap it, or you might just as well have it in a hard case and just take the case out, plonk the tree up. What's festive about that?
Mate.
No.
And Stuart has confirmed it's the stem of a creeper or an ivy.
Whoa. Well, I think we give ourselves 10 out of 10 for that.
Well done.
10 out of 10. And then the last one.
He also correctly guessed cling filming the tree.
Yeah. Good. Right. Now this is where we get slightly political and slightly contentious. But I thought we as it's lockdown, we ought to have a coronavirus story. So here it is.
My guidelines wasn't there. The story. Truly out of touch. Tory minister suggests blank coronavirus with.
This is so hard when that was taken out.
Yeah, no, he has made it hard.
Yeah, because
Can you put it
found
back up?
I found I was leaving the answer in too often, and Nathan was just reading down and getting the answer.
That only happened once.
And once is too often, actually. Once is too often.
Oh.
So, okay.
Well, it must be
He
to
sounds
do
like
with
one of
the
them clergy on
vaccine.
media training.
Absolutely. Okay, you ready? He suggests drowning coronavirus sorrows with £170 champagne. Now,
I'd agree with that.
Oh my
yeah,
god!
but I was just saying, it's easy to criticise, and I think the criticism is not because he suggested champagne, but because it's the £170 King Cuvée something. But I think to be fair to him, is get one of our lovely listeners to send us in a bottle of this stuff, and the four of us can crack it open and try it and just see. And of course, Nathan, you don't, so that's the three of us. So that the sample size will be slightly smaller.
Past two, to be honest.
Oh, that's fine. I can do that. I'm quite happy
Well,
to
the
do it
good
on my
news
own.
is it'll end up getting delivered to my house, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just think our way around that.
So it'll be Kaylee.
Yeah. Okay. But 170. He suggests it's an alternative vaccine against the memory of last year, and you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to be a bit cheerful.
She is. Oh, he is.
He is. Yeah. He's trying to be a bit cheerful, and I think actually this is in the Independent, and I think they're just having a pop because they can. Having a pop, and that was intentional, because they can. And yeah, actually, there's a lot of things. There was a lovely cartoon in one of the papers this week with a chap saying, "Oh no, we've got a Turkish variant, and we've got all sorts of other troubles. How I miss 2020." And you think, yeah, that's one way of looking at it. But I mean, 2020 is going to, especially now we've gone into the business of cancelling the summer's exams again, and a whole generation will have to go through what my kids went through this year. And you think that's going to leave its mark for a bit to come. And whereas it's right to, he's said, yes, try champagne. Actually, we're going to have to do things to cope with the memory of all of this. And I hope that we can come up with something like, I don't know, community COVID awards or something, so that people who've contributed can really be celebrated, and the community can come together and say, yeah, we did this.
I also think people who shielded for the whole of the 9 months and not come out need a medal as well.
Yeah.
It's not just about what people have done. I mean, some people who've been shielding they just have not left their house, not seen anybody because of whatever. I think they've been really brave and good, keeping to the rules, haven't they?
And they've had to carry it for so long. I mean,
it's so long now.
It's been a long haul. It's been a long haul.
Well, I was going to ask what you would say, open question, to the chat as well, what your alternative vaccine has been or is at the moment in terms of, what's your equivalent of the champagne?
Coffee. I just before
That's an addiction, mate.
Not before lockdown. Yeah, it's helping. All right, it's helping. Okay, I don't need sleep anyway. Just before this time last year, just before lockdown, I bought myself a coffee machine, and it is. I mean, it makes a heck of a racket, but just what it produces, and there's that first whiff you get as the crema on the coffee begins to smoke and steam. Oh, it's just wonderful. So this is helping me get through it.
Well done. Is this while we're still in lockdown, Jodie, or is this after?
I don't know. Just what's getting you through?
Oh, what's getting you through? Right. Okay.
I don't know. What is your? For me, it would probably be something like naps. Like just having an afternoon nap is like my vaccine. It's like keeping me going, That's my vice at the moment.
Okay, Nathan, what's yours?
It's
the shed. It's the shed, isn't it?
I haven't been in there for a while, to be honest. I'll be honest. I have my track spacer in my hand. There you are. You don't see one of them every day.
No.
I don't know. I would say homeschooling, but that's not keeping me going. That's something else, I tell you. Netflix. There you are. Other TV services are available.
What are you watching at the moment then?
Nothing. I've just finished.
Are you being
what
served?
did you watch?
We watched Are You Being Served tonight. It was brilliant.
Did you?
Oh, it's so funny.
I was trying to remember the other day, and I still can't do it. The name of the chap, Captain Peacock. There's a chap above him before you get to young Mr. Grace. What's his name?
Can't remember.
I just can't for the life of me.
Can't remember.
Work it out. Somebody will tell us.
It was really funny tonight.
It's not my forte.
It's how it used to be, really, before things, I suppose, have moved on and have got better, for women, how women were treated in a way.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting from an historical point of view, just even to watch it, and it was ever so funny. Yeah, really funny.
Oh. There we are.
Yeah. Good.
And is it Fortnum and Mason for you, Christine?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I love. I'd like to taste that lovely bottle of champagne. I've got to say, as long as I'm sharing it with people.
We volunteer. We hereby volunteer.
You hereby volunteer.
Anything that brings in business for people to keep their businesses going, I'm up for that. So, whether it's buying specialist biscuits or I don't know, anything. Yeah, lovely. I've got to lose some weight though. But in a way, we all do so much going on most of the time. I don't know whether I've had a chance to sit and sort of, have a think about it really. I think when the things that we do get stopped, that's when it really does affect us. And at the moment, we're still allowed to go out for exercise, which we like doing, which means we're in the countryside. When they stopped us going onto the boat, I think that was an issue, because being out on the water is quite therapeutic. And I like so not to be able to do that.
Is that currently banned now then?
No, you can still, at the moment, we can still go down on the boat. But last time on lockdown, well, I haven't seen anywhere specific, so we're having a look at the moment. We've got to clarify that. But last time we had just recently, we were allowed on the boat, when it was lifted a bit. When we had the complete lockdown, I think they then at some point put into place that you weren't allowed on the pier, but you are allowed to go in and check your boat, because there's a lot of bad weather down on the pier. And the boats, you have to go in and empty the bilge gills, because the bilges fill up with water on whatever boat you're on. It's got to be pumped out. If you don't, it sinks. So there's a responsibility there that you've got to keep the boat safe as well. So I think they try and accommodate people, but there are notices down there where you've got to wear masks and you've got to keep social distancing, so yeah.
There we are.
Good. There we have it.
So no more news quiz?
No, that's it. I did 4 tonight because it's actually quite difficult finding news items at the moment that aren't either shrieking at the government or shrieking at people who break the rules. And I think, we could do that all day, really. 240 idiots. Or it's interesting, though, how aggressive the media is getting now. And I think they're simply reflecting people's frustrations. But it is wall to wall holding the government to account on this, and I don't think anyone can complain that the government isn't getting scrutiny. I would not want to be working as a press officer in government in these days. It must just be, the total onslaught. I wouldn't want to do that at all. I think there comes a point where you think, okay, it's necessary, but what's the effect of, constant, unpicking, analysis, constant carping, constant pulling apart on the confidence of those who actually do have to make quite difficult decisions and get it right. And you could forgive them for feeling a bit timid about stuff. And it is hard. And we have quite an aggressively critical media in this country.
I think it's terrible. I think they need to give people a bit of a break, really. You know, we're dealing with something that we've never had before. And in hindsight, you know, you can look back and say, well, this should have been done. This should be done.
Yeah.
I think they've got to get a balance between keeping businesses going and having some freedom for mental health. I think genuinely they're trying to do the right things, and they're not going to get it right.
I'm sure they are.
Well, I mean, politically, it's not in their interest to foul it up. So, but
No.
the other thing is that what we're seeing is government, which is having to move quickly and take decisions quickly on the basis of changing information, and you can't have that and a consistent policy at the same time.
Right.
You know, you can't have easy to understand regulations if you need to change them a lot, and the science says you have to change them. And I think there is a pinch point between where public policy meets medical advice. You know, the medics will say, well, you need to do this, and the politicians will say, you will not get people to do that. And we see that already to an extent with the amount of rule breaking there is. And it's interesting because even some of the papers who are radically against rule breaking have started to dip a toe in the water. There was a columnist, I think it was in the Mail, who wrote about how she held a church meeting to discuss a charity which supports vulnerable women, and she held a meeting in her garden and there were 7 people present. Well, of course you can't do that. So she wrote this slightly indignant piece about how she was pulled up short and told off by the police about this. And you think that is precisely where it meets, where the difficulty is. You have to have a public policy, even when people might be able to see that the way they want to do stuff is safe and go ahead with it. The fact that they go ahead with it then has a culture of, well, there are rules and rules, but there are ways around them. And I think what's really catching people's minds is the number of, you know, people who have some kind of celebrity status being able to use their wealth to either escape or to avoid or to circumvent the rules because they don't want to keep them. And I think people's appetite for that is going to grow thin. Sorry, Nathan.
I think from my perspective, my gut says that there is no such thing as safe during a worldwide pandemic, and people just need to first get their heads around that. So there is no such thing as safe. What there is some things and some ways are safer than others, but to say that anything is safe, I think I would dare anyone to make that comment within the current climate, because actually none of us are top level scientists, none of us have got all the facts, and therefore what we do thinking is safe, we're kind of deluding ourselves. And I think that's the bit that's hard for the public to understand, is that, folks, you're not going to understand this stuff. You just have to hold on tight, because it's a roller coaster. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I think that's where, I mean, we've had it with churches, thinking, well, it's a safe space to come into. Well, it's not a safe space, but we've put loads of stuff in place to make it as safe as possible. And I think that's the distinction that people need to really get into their heads. And what the government are trying to do, I believe, is trying to make that accessible, something which fundamentally isn't accessible. It's a bit like theology. So any theology, as soon as you open your mouth to try and describe God, you're on a hiding to nothing. You have systematically failed, because you cannot describe God using a language which has been created by humans. Otherwise, God is not God. And it's a bit like that with coronavirus, is that as soon as you open your mouth and start talking about it, you're kind of on a hiding to nothing. But we are moving in the right direction. We're on the right side of it. And it's a roller coaster, so hold on tight. Some people will take ice creams on roller coasters, and others will fear for their lives, I think.
Yeah. I'm an ice cream sort of person. That's not in relation to
I think
roller
I am too.
coasters. That's...
You'd have coffee on the roller coaster.
Cheers.
So.
I'd have a
But
roast
it's
dinner.
hard. And I think what you've said, Christine's true as well, isn't it? It's a sliding scale. The safer you do stuff in the community, the higher the risk on mental health and all of that kind of stuff, and business. It's a nightmare.
I think one of the things that I heard a lot over the Christmas period, especially when we couldn't do all the stuff we wanted, was people saying, yeah, but next year is going to be pretty special. And I think I've certainly picked up people are determined to do what they can next year to make it as spectacular as they can. And I'm all for that. Champagne.
There is something I want to show you that I've been eating and I've got to stop eating. Keep me through coronavirus. And this.
I
thought it was a candle then.
No.
Sprouts. Oh, sweets, not sprouts.
Not sprouts. They are delicious.
Do you know, I
Are
absolutely...
they just like hard-boiled sweets?
Shall I tell you where they're from? Not Fortnum and Masons, I've got to say.
Are they not? Poundland.
No.
No, you can get them in Sainsbury's, can't you?
Gourmet Sweets of London.
They're do you watch Made in Chelsea?
No.
I can honestly say no.
Right, the equivalent of Made in Essex, the only way is Essex, only it's the other end of the scale. Well, Jamie Lang, who's been on Jamie Lang, who's been on the dancing, the Strictly Come Dancing. Well, it's his company that produces those sweets. Candy Kittens.
Okay.
They are delicious, I've got to say.
Well, lucky
I did
for
see
you.
them in Sainsbury's.
Lucky for you, they're nearly all gone. So.
I know, it's bad, isn't it? That's seen me
We
through.
got given. We got given a tin of M&S biscuits that I have single-handedly demolished in the last week or so, and it's like one of those 2-tier ones, like 2 trays. So you finally think, okay, the end is on the horizon. So I'm almost done, and then the diet starts, and then you realise there's another tier, and they're just so good. And it's quite rare that I have a box of biscuits or chocolates that I like all of them.
Would
so
you
this has been the one.
Would you like me to come and pick them up and take them away so that you're not being tempted?
It's all right. I think
leave them out on the doorstep. I can pick them up in a socially distanced kind of way.
We'll work something out here. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll find a home.
That would not be a necessary journey, Mr. Jennings.
Well, if you think of it in terms of mental well-being, okay, I'd be volunteering to assist Jodie in keeping her mental well-being up to scratch by removing the biscuits. I could do that. I'm sure the rules would let me do that. Absolutely sure.
Not my
reckon
rules.
I think that was the bullet point that got taken out, by the way, between parks and
it was a whole thing about biscuits.
Gardens.
Yeah.
I think that was
botanical
biscuits and
gardens.
coffee.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's on the bees. There we are. Sorted. Happy days.
Good.
And then it's night prayer soon.
And that must be Jodie, because it always is.
8 p.m.
Okay, tell me.
That's right. Well done. It's only taken you almost a year.
Is it me doing morning prayer at 7:30 tomorrow morning? It is, isn't it? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
It's not me this week. I know I'm doing it next week.
That's fine. I'll be fine.
The Jennings.
Oh, when are we changing times for that? Are we? No?
We haven't decided anything. Do not confuse the people.
I already confused the people this morning. I confused the people this morning because I thought that we had decided we were changing times. So I just told the people to watch out because something might change. I kept it quite vague, but
all I can say is I'm glad you're not in charge of track and trace. Then, if this is the kind of disinformation,
I'm so sure we made the decision. We definitely made the decision.
Spread.
All right, sorry, people.
Okay, 7:30 until we decide.
7:30 tomorrow. With Jonathan Jennings, morning prayer in the original Latin.
I could do the Book of Common Prayer morning prayer. Now that's
you don't have to though. Don't worry.
I don't have.
No,
you're going to.
you
You're
follow
going
the
to do it
book.
instead. Yeah. Okay, fine. The book.
See, Lorraine says put it back to 8 or whenever it was. It was 9, Lorraine. It was 9.
It needs to be 9.
Do you remember the times when it was 9 a.m.?
Oh, that was.
Oh my gosh!
I could.
What a
get up,
dreamland!
I could do the school run, come back, and it would just be there. I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't have to prop myself off on my coffee mug,
sounds good
pretending
idea.
to be awake.
Yeah, my voice might actually work as well.
You see,
It's
all of
awful in the
these
morning.
people that work for the church that don't do a decent day's work, can't get out of bed in time, when all of you people are having to get up early to commute and everything like that, we're sorry. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Well, just
we've
to
done that.
remind you guys
Six
more than
o'clock.
anyone else,
Because go on.
I'm the only one on the staff team who does morning and night prayer twice a week. And I think that sometimes we forget that I have 2 mornings in the week that I get up at 7:30. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, it should be 9
What
o'clock.
does
I reckon.
What does St Paul say about Pride again, Nathan? What was it? You know. Actually,
I
Paul
can't say
says.
anything here.
Paul says.
Hang
Paul
on.
says, "I do
As
not
the
boast."
incumbent,
Yes.
as the incumbent, I think because Jodie's able to do it so willfully, morning and evening prayer can be taken on 7 days a week by Jodie.
I thought you were going to say it can be moved to 9 a.m.
No.
No, 7:30. Don't you, Jonathan?
It's starting tomorrow, I would say. Yeah.
And I think
Oh,
because we're in
started
lockdown,
today.
we should. Because we're in lockdown, Jonathan, we should increase the
Yeah.
spiritual prayer life of the church. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be good that Jodie, who heads up prayer life in the church, we should move to all of the offices, which is morning, isn't it?
Yep.
Morning prayer.
It's known
Then what else
sexton
was it?
terce.
Yeah.
Known sexton terce.
When was the last one?
The last one's still Compline, and then there's night prayer or prayers at 3 in the morning. So
Yeah.
it's 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 6, and 9.
Is anyone else
I
turned
think-
off by now?
I think we're being mean.
That's fine.
very
It's fine.
hard.
It's fine. It's fine.
Take care,
Well,
everyone.
the
See you
comments-
soon.
The comment section is interesting, just to say.
Okay.
9, agreed.
think-
9 is
I
too
think
late.
Luke-
9 is not late enough.
Okay.
Would expect than Lucy's comments earlier.
Watch this space. Watch this space.
What does before we go? What does Lucy say? What does she say?
No, don't.